Continuing this problem, since we now know force and area, we can now solve for pressure using the same equation. Pressure equals force over area, same as always. Force being 10,000 newtons, and area being 40 square meters. Do the calculation in a calculator, and it turns out that the number comes up to be about 250 newtons over meters squared, which is 250 pascals. And that's your final answer. Let's do the next example. Number 4 says, in the year 2057, let's say Barberden will have a space elevator that can rise to about 8,000 meters. This elevator takes you to a height where only 60% of the actual Earth atmosphere exists. If sea level is about 101,000 pascals, what is the air pressure at 8,000 meters? Now, this is a good OAA test question, alright? Now, this question is actually much simpler than it looks. These are the kind of questions that you're going to be subject to when you take this new OAA test, alright, in 8th grade. So, let's look at the data that we're given. Alright, we know the year is 2057, and we'll get to the relevant data, alright? Let's just write down everything we have. Alright, and we say that the height, we know, is 8,000 meters. And we know that sea level equals 101,000 pascals. And finally, we're given a percent that represents the level at which the elevator comes up to, which is 60%. Now, there are 2 points of data that are unnecessary for us to know. Alright. Going back to your math class, you might remember doing something like this a couple of weeks ago. X over 100, or percent over 100, equals is over of. This is one of these kind of problems. Right? So, we know right away we need the percent. Right? So it might help you if I drew percent instead of x. Percent over 100 equals is over of. So we know the percent, we need for sure. Now the question is, what number is and what number is of? Well, if I were to think about this critically, I could actually rewrite this word problem. And this is exactly what this problem is asking you. Simply, it is asking, what is 60% of 101,000? Could you do that calculation now? Let's try it. So 60, substituting in the value for the percent, over 100 equals x, because is unknown, over of, which is 101,000, so we can erase this unnecessary data, and I'll continue at the top and keep this here. So we'll continue here. Cross multiply to get your product. 100 times x, that's your variable, equals 60
times 101,000. 100 times x equals 6,060,000. Divide both sides by 100. X equals 60,600 pascals. So 60% of 101,000 is 60,600 pascals, which sounds about right. Let's try the next one. Suppose you go on an airplane for a trip far away from the cold Ohio weather. The plane reaches an altitude of 13,000 feet or 3,963 meters. If cabin pressure were 8,585 pascals, what change in pressure is this compared to sea level? Well, write down what we know. Altitude, which equals 3,963 meters. We know sea level from the last problem because it told us 101,000 pascals. And we know cabin pressure, which equals 8,585 pascals. So the question is asking us, what percent change in pressure is this? Well, we would start by taking the difference between sea level and cabin pressure. So let's try that. So let me just rewrite it over here so I don't make a mistake, because my writing is very close together and the columns are not even. So 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 8 is 1. 9 minus 5 is 4. 11, or 10 minus 8 is 2. And I believe that would come out to be 92,415 if I've done my math correctly. Alright? So now that you know this number, what percent change in pressure is this? Well, it turns out this is another is over of problem. Alright? This time we don't know the percent. So here's what it's asking us. What percent of 101,000 is 92,415? Right? So, okay, so here's the proper setup, finally, for this problem. X over 100, or percent over 100, whatever variable you decide you like better, equals 92,415 over 101,000. So, let's do the math. 101,000 x equals 92415 times 100. 101,000x equals 9241500. Divide by 101,000, 101,000, and 924,500 divided by 101,000 equals a 9.15% change.
Well, thanks for tuning in today, guys, and hopefully I will be able to share the rest of this assignment with you, or notes with you, on the next day that we meet. Thanks for watching, and have a great evening.